Okay. And on that bombshell, welcome to the Rev Mad Podcast, the automotive podcast where we don't even fucking know anymore, man. The 2020 is almost over. Everybody's so burned out.
2020, baby, 2020.
Dude, 2020 kicked everybody's ass. It's been rough.
Couple of times.
I think hopefully all the craziness is behind us. We're ready to go. We have Jamal on the show. If you've watched or been live with the Clutch Kick, like follow along with FD. You've already known Jamal. If not, here he is. Watch that content. That content was a lot of fun to put together. We're gonna talk about drifting because why not? And then it'll obviously devolve into something else. But what's everybody drinking? Let's get going. What's everybody doing?
I got tequila for free from a customer. It was like a $46 bottle, and it was great. So that's that combined with Mike's margarita mix.
Like legitimately Mike's margarita mix?
Yeah, he brought it to me like a couple days ago.
Is Mike like now our Martha Stewart? Is that what's going on?
No, Mike's my.
that way.
Mike's
Does
my
that
dad.
make Chris Snoop Dogg? Is that
Ooh, yeah, that's good.
I'm done. Okay.
All right, Chris,
Cool.
what are you drinking?
Costco vodka is like a bottle as big as my face.
Good shit. That Kirkland shit.
Dude, that
Dude,
Kirk-
that
bad,
Kirk
bro.
legit shit be
Oh,
slamming.
you mean for $20?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Damn, are we about to have
That's
another
good.
Costco booze conversation? It'll be the
Dude.
second.
I listened to you guys' Costco booze convo like the last time, and I was busting up because me and my ex-girlfriend's stepdad did that shit with a gang of whiskey, and he just like covered the labels, and we both like Costco more than like some of the $100 bottles that he had. It was crazy.
Dude.
Oh, 100%. I mean,
man.
the thing is, like, Costco is the same distilleries as these other places. It's just not distilled as many times.
Right.
True.
I don't care. I'm just trying to get drunk.
Yeah.
This guy gets it.
All
All right, so I guess we're going clockwise on my screen because I said so. Jamal, what do you drink?
This is Jameson and cream soda. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
That's some
How
good
does the
shit. I respect
carbonation
it.
taste in
That's
there?
actually really good.
Oh, that's what's up.
I can actually see
Damn,
that
that's
being
really good.
It's
Yeah.
like I can see the cream
Was
for
that
sure,
the-
but like the carbonation, I don't know how that would go down.
Was that the inaugural sip? Did we just witness the inaugural sip right there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
I was-
hadn't tried this earlier. I had a cream soda in my refrigerator, and I had Jameson. I was like, I wonder if these will go.
I'm honestly a little disappointed that it didn't suck because I would have loved to have that expression on video, like just for posterity.
Ooh.
When
Power
people
through it,
think
though.
it goes
Shitty
wrong.
alcohol.
But I'm gonna power through it.
Yeah, I don't know if we.
Yeah, you can't let anybody see you fucking like cry, right? Like you don't want to be like,
Dude, I think
Yeah,
we've had
it's like a
lot
matter of
shitty
pride. No, if I
alcohol,
made
so
it.
I don't know if that's
Just a
gonna.
single tear.
Like, there's a lot of shit that's gonna make me like. You gotta give me
Dude,
a
how much-
211 or something.
how much Mad Dog did we steal out of people back in the day? Just Mad Dog 2020 bottles lying around. Just gonna take that. Yeah. Anyway, we're not gonna go into those conversations. Mike, what are you drinking?
People think
I'm
we're homeless.
piggybacking off of last time. I got the same setup. I got a little vodka, little White Claw. So we're going.
Okay.
A little,
All
we're a little
right.
girly
Yep,
tonight.
the suburban special. I
I'm
like
telling
it.
you though, man,
Yeah.
it gets the fucking job fucking done. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
man.
No, I feel that. Kyle, what are you and your family drinking?
I got a +2 for Jameson, except for I got a little ginger ale in it, so
Oh, okay.
it's not bad.
A little
The old
whiskey
Costco mule. Yeah, the old Costco
Yeah, I
mule.
like Costco. Yep.
It's like what Timmy was saying. It's like
Costco mule.
the fizzy would throw me off. Like the fizzy,
Yeah.
like the soda.
It's not bad.
Jameson and ginger ale is like that's like an old school, like just
That's
easy
good
drinking
shit.
drink. I've been drinking that shit for years because
Yeah.
Jameson I don't feel bad about mixing. It's like a $27
It tastes
bottle.
good. I
Right.
mean, the ginger ale is a good contrast to any of that shit.
Like
I
yeah,
like it better than Coke.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah,
It's less
yeah,
syrupy for sure.
Yes.
That's definitely like an easier, cheap party cocktail, if you can call it that. I'm drinking
What the hell are
bourbon.
you drinking? Yeah.
Just bourbon,
Right.
just straight up.
Oh
Fucking-
boy.
Looks like you're drinking out of a fucking candle.
It does, right? No, check this. this thing out. It's stainless steel, so it's like it stays.
It's like a burned
No,
candle.
it
can
does.
that
From
you
now
start
on,
drinking
that's
out of
the
it.
candle.
I'm
That's the
drinking hot
candle.
wax because I'm a fucking man.
Golf course living.
Live
Surrounded
laugh,
by.
Got mine out of a coffee mug. Hey, check it out.
Hey, that's
Yep.
dope though.
Fuck you, sensitive.
Sorry, I am a diehard, and they're playing tonight, so I do have to.
Go Kings.
I only watch professional basketball.
Yeah, fuck
So-
you.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah, fuck you.
Hey, we
Go
just
Lakers, baby!
Damn.
Just re-signed AD. Let's go
Hey,
Lakers,
shut
baby.
up. We had this conversation. Fuck you.
You
the
live
Kings
in
won anything?
Sacramento.
I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Have the Kings won anything?
If you
Like
don't
recently-
become
No.
a Kings or Warriors fan and quit fucking around,
No,
Yeah,
dude,
dude.
they just like press like their half-ass reset button. I'm like, Jesus, criminy. I don't even recognize half the goddamn team anymore.
yeah, don't nobody want to play in Sacramento.
Scenic Sacramento.
Yeah. Fuck. We got a
Dude,
bowling
if I was
alley
a superstar in the NBA, and they were like, "Yeah, we're going to give you like $30 million a year to come to Sacramento." I'm like, let me see what
They're
the
gonna pay me
Knicks are
25 to
talking
go to
about.
Miami.
yeah.
Only 5 million? Okay.
Miami's
25
paying me how
something?
much?
Yeah.
Let me see what Miami's talking
Y'all seen how
about.
fresh
Yeah.
those Miami jerseys are too? Those like throwback,
Dude.
like pink and purple. Those are so.
I'd
I
feel
wish.
high just wearing that shit.
I feel like Kid Cut just all over the place.
Like whole
feel
first
like-
half, I'm in like big ass Lokes, my jewelry on and shit.
You got your pinky coke nail all fucking long.
Yeah. Hey,
Damn
man,
it.
don't pass me the ball that hard.
Yeah. Hold on, sugar. Hold on.
Shouting myself out to go to the bathroom.
I'm gonna
Yo.
need a minute.
A minute.
Yeah.
A minute.
Oh
I'm
shit.
gonna keep it real with you, coach. I'm so high. If you don't take me out, my heart's gonna explode right here in front of all these people. So if you want that on your
Man.
conscience, you go ahead.
I don't know
Right,
if you guys
coach.
watch Rick and Morty, but
Oh,
Hey,
I
if,
love
ma-
Rick and Morty.
if you guys were at all concerned about the quality of this episode, I want you guys to know that we were recording for a solid 45 seconds of the show technically being started before I transitioned to anybody being able to see our face, and we started with a cocaine conversation. So
Oh, okay.
here we go.
Red
we
Match
go, bitches.
Podcast.
Strap in, motherfuckers. It's going
Strap
to be
in.
great.
Oh, it's gonna be a good one, baby. It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, so my grandfather has COVID. I found out this evening.
Oh,
So
Oh,
that
no
no.
way.
Yeah, so this one's
My-
for him.
Yeah, my twin
yeah.
brother has COVID.
See, this
Aye.
shit's
He'll be
fucking
fine.
going around, dog.
That means I'm the superior twin. Fuck you, Zach.
Yeah.
Bravo, dog. I fucking
Alright,
love it.
Alex, hey, you already know the title of this episode.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah.
you,
Fuck
Zach.
you, Zach.
Yeah.
Twin,
Twin.
fuck you,
I'm the
Zach.
scarier twin.
Oh fuck, that's so good. It's just gonna be Jamal Simpkins parentheses and Kyle is a superior twin.
I was gonna say nobody's gonna understand that.
Oh, they'll
Oh,
get there.
shit.
No, I'll make a clip.
Yeah,
I'll literally. This will be our
Mm.
first clip. It'll just be like, "Yeah, my twin brother got COVID." You know what that means?
oh my god.
Oh
This
god.
is gonna be it.
Oh my
We're
god.
gonna go. We're gonna roll into 2021. Fucking wheels on fire, baby. Let's
Yeah,
go.
Going in.
baby.
Going in.
I got the gasoline. Let's
speed
do
ahead.
this shit.
Full
Real-
speed
real-
ahead.
Real talk. This is the last pod of 2020,
It is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
so it's
It is.
actually kind of fitting that we have everybody who like contributes to the channel, like on a super regular basis. Obviously, Bryce was our first guest, and that was rad. But it's cool that we're all here because we're all kind of doing this thing in different capacities, different levels, different channels and stuff. But yeah, it's the only sentimental thing I'm gonna say the rest of the evening. Fuck you guys. So.
All right. Yeah. Fuck up.
Right.
So,
Alright,
yeah,
well, I mean, like, I'll start by saying, summer performance tires, even if you're all-wheel drive, don't go to the snow.
No.
It
Yep.
doesn't really work. You know, I
No.
mean, it works.
Tim.
Have you
Who
seen
would've-
that
who
video?
would've thought?
Though? That video,
I
it's like a,
survived. My car is fine. I got scared at a couple points.
So what
I
happened?
survived.
So what happened to you?
I
See,
mean,
what
like,
happened was
What happened to
I
you?
mean,
Running through
like,
90.
Mike knows the transmission. Like, the transmission is like a PDK where if you barely blip the throttle, it downshifts. And the second it adds that extra power, I kept breaking traction. So like I'd be going 20 miles an hour and like I'm far from the truck in front of me, but like I was going only like 20 miles an hour and fucking I barely touched the throttle and it downshifted and fucking all of a sudden my body just started turning. So I hit the brake and like I tapped the brake and then it just started sliding forward towards the truck. I'm like, no fucking way, dude. So I fucking downshifted a couple times and fucking it eventually re-grabbed traction. But like just literally a blip of the throttle, like because it's a rear wheel biased all wheel drive. It's not like the STI where the STI is a 59 rear and a 41 front. It's like 80%.
So you're saying that the STI is
in
the
rear.
Kyle of all wheel drive. That's all you had to say. It's a superior version of.
Wow.
I mean, I do agree that Subaru's all-wheel drive is a superior version of all-wheel drive. I think it is the best all-wheel drive I've ever driven. That is my opinion.
Can't confirm.
I'm gonna stick to it. My all-wheel drive, my Quattro drive it's all rear wheel. It's like based on a rear-wheel drive car. Like it slides out in the rear before it's like, oh, you want the front wheels too? Okay, let me give you some of that.
I remember I was walking through, and Jay, I don't know if you were with me. It was like a late night. I was like cruising through Pasadena, just like walking around with some of my friends. And this dude comes hauling ass. This is an old RS4, right? From like a 25
Like
mile an hour. No, like an RS4, like the only RS4 we got in the States, like the V8 RS4.
It's like
right?
a 04, 05.
Yeah, 04 to 08 or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Like it's just straight V8, S4, whatever.
Fucking sick.
This dude comes screaming up the road and just cranks the fuck out of the wheel and like holds his foot down on the gas and it just like pushes itself out. And it was the first time I've ever seen a car in person defy physics. Like it just fucking ripped this corner so hard and stayed in the lane so clean and then just bolted. And I was like, what the fuck was that, dude? And that was the first time I've ever, like, I'd watched rally videos and shit as a kid, but like, when you see a car in front of you and you're just, mind you, I'm probably high or drunk or something, and I'm just cruising around Pasadena, and this dude just comes out of nowhere and just whips it and it grips. That shit's like life changing.
Wild to watch that happen. That's
yeah.
tight.
So like 100%, your car's better than mine. I just had to talk shit. You know.
Oh, 100% like that. The Subaru's all-wheel drive. If you want an all-wheel drive sports car, Subaru's all-wheel drive is the best fucking all-wheel drive system. Like, I mean, I've had
this fucking Kyle.
I've had 4 of them, so like I've driven them in all types of conditions. And compared to the Audi, like the Audi all-wheel drive is great, but it's not as safe as taking a fucking Forester to the snow. Like it's a rear wheel biased. If you give it any power, it'll push out. And in a Subaru, it's never happened. I've gone to the snow in all of my STIs and WRXs and I've never had any issues. Yeah, it was kind of scary. I mean, I'm on summer tires, obviously, but like they're brand new. I put them on Saturday night before going Sunday morning.
I broke the GTR loose this weekend.
Did.
Okay, dude, it sounded so good.
Dude, he fucking drove by me when we went on this drive. He just drives by me as we're getting ready to get off the freeway. And mind you, I'm in my car, right? So I can barely hear shit anyway. But he goes by, and the noise that came out of the back of that thing was like the greatest thing I've heard in years. Because you just don't hear RVs stateside. Like, I don't hear a lot of RVs very often.
No,
right?
yeah.
So when you hear one and it's like you got a Tome, right? Like it's got a nice exhaust on it. So
yeah, it's hella nice.
How was that drive?
I'll let Mike speak for himself.
I mean, I know you said it was wet.
It was wet, and it's a different experience, but definitely I can attest to what Tim's saying for all-wheel drive systems, Subaru. But that's because that's all I've really known for like a kind of racer car.
I'm like really confident in it. We have tons of time in that car. Like Alex always says with seat time, me and you have been in fucking Subarus for the last 8 years.
Right. And so like I told this to Alex and Kyle on the drive is
you better eat that.
If I
Wow.
I'm
Oof.
almost positive he's talking to his dog. Almost positive.
Shit, I forgot I was on here.
Jamal forgets,
shit.
and Kyle's the superior twin.
Oh fuck.
Right.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that was great.
No, but
My dog
uh,
hounded me for licorice, and I gave it to her. And now she's like rolling it around, like, "What is this thing?"
damn well he
Like,
said I wasted that on you.
Don't waste my licorice. Like, what the fuck's
Yeah.
wrong
Oh
with
my
you?
god, so
But I
good,
was
dude.
I was telling Alex and Kyle, if I'd had the Subaru, it'd have been a different completely drive. Like I'd have been fast, confident, like pushing through shit. Like I'd have been on some booty. Not that car. That car is a completely different. Like I came out of a
Like Chris's
corner,
face.
kind of put my foot down into it, and like
Listen, all I'm gonna say
Dude,
is
it was scary. Like legit. Like all of a sudden you watched. I could feel it, and then I like glanced at the gauge too, real quick. Like you could feel the whole back end start to go like this, and it starts to slide, and all of a sudden you watch that gauge front torque just goes, and it fucking pegs, and it like grabs the front of the car and like fucking whips you forward. Like, dude, it.
that's so sick.
And like there was one time we were passing that Honda, and like, dude, like I hit like a bump, and
That
it like.
Honda.
Yeah,
I wanted to
that,
ask about that. I also got you fucking Kyle hesitated and I got stuck behind that motherfucker. We go into that corner where you could pass.
No. I didn't hesitate. I couldn't get grip. There's a difference.
No try. And then by the time, so like I was getting ready to downshift in the second, right? So like there was a stance for who wasn't there. There was a stance.
The back end was always.
Like dog taking a shit, like in the back.
Dude,
and we're in a
it was
canyon. We're in a canyon. So
Yeah.
Civic.
Dude,
So
he, was
Mike-
right,
Wait,
he was riding
wait,
on
wait.
this much tire, bro.
Wait,
Oh,
is it
my
Alex
face.
running up with cover?
I'm right. Fuck you. It's 2 degrees. I'm fucking get fucked. Hey, Bryce said he runs 3, so fucking I'm not alone. Somebody
No, this-
also a
bro,
man of
this-
culture.
This guy was like, okay,
-7, 8
Perfect.
degrees. Yeah.
perfect camber or perfect. We'll just say that's 0, right? This guy was like this, riding on this in like
Yes.
the inside of his tire.
With
Barely
with
any
heavy
tire,
front
bro.
rake.
Oh,
Heavy front
terrible.
rake. Like
Did
Let
you
me
see
ask
me?
you, tenth of
The
tire and buy
front
new
was
ones
kind of,
in
the front
3
end was
months.
kind of like barely tucked, maybe like because
No.
the rims were
It
too
would-
big. Like
it didn't
like,
make
it
any
did-
sense.
Oh my god!
It
And
didn't
then,
I
make-
could see.
Oh, he
I
had
could-
little wheels though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could
Yeah.
see
Little
it.
skinny
was-
wheels, and he just like.
Oh,
the
Yeah,
wheels
no,
were
he
like
wasn't like.
the tires
He
were like
wasn't
this
like
big,
packing
bro.
meat under
Like,
there, dude. It was just like. fucking whatever.
oh god. So he was
I shoulda
probably
got a picture
so,
of it. I shoulda
like,
got
He was small dicking
got
it
like
for sure.
shopping
Like,
cart.
This is
fucking
hold on.
handling.
Let me
Holy fuck, he's
explain
so
this a little bit
sketchy.
better.
look,
Say, check
what is
this
it?
out.
You put
okay?
a flannel on,
Check
you
this
turn to
out.
Bob Vila. Is that what
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
got khakis on. Look at him.
His shit was like this, bro.
What are you wearing?
If this was ground,
Khakis?
khakis. This is his tire. Check that shit out, bro.
This
Oh.
is so great. This is the
That's
best. This is the
ridiculous.
best episode ever.
But
Because
like,
now
why
we
do
have
Honda
visual
guys
aid.
do that shit? It's like what? Like
Because
you
Bro,
got
and he
shopping
had
cart
like the
handling now,
muffler.
like,
The
you're
muffler
just-
was cut off of it. It had like you could hear him like gouge up.
What sucks about that too is like a clean Honda is a fucking sick car. Like really
Yeah.
clean Hondas, like really nicely done
Sick
Hondas.
car?
I love Hondas. I don't give a
Yeah,
fuck.
I
I would
I'm
take
with
an old
Alex.
Honda.
I know. I
I
remember
love
your
Hondas.
Acura.
Yeah,
We-
no,
we
but I
Honda-
just
we Honda
like-
kids here.
yeah, we're all Honda kids here. I'm not
He's
hating
an
on
I mean, I
old
this.
started off
GSR.
with a Honda too.
kids.
I had a
Yeah.
Honda too, and
Didn't
when
ever
that
own a
thing,
Honda.
when that shit got totaled, it's like, all right, well, that was that.
You know,
Yeah.
Not really
all I gotta
good.
say is like if they made a brand new S2000, I might spend $60,000 on it.
Dude, if they made a brand new Integra, I'd spend 30 grand.
Fuck you, Mike.
Fuck
you.
$60,000 for an S2000, you can go sit on something, bro. No.
Dude,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah, I'm
25
not spending
grand
60
for
racks
like
on
a
the
08.
S2000,
Hell
bro.
no.
Yeah, but they were
60
33 when they were new,
shitty
though.
from
Hey,
jump.
Wait.
They're not
Yeah.
shitty.
You need
Get
to
outta here.
understand like time difference here.
Power band was
okay?
terrible.
It was a
Like-
high rev because of 9,000 RPM. Fucking, you
We-
gotta rev the shit out of it.
We
Stay in
saw
it.
what-
So
we
you're,
saw
you're
what Honda did.
non-turbo with a high revving engine. So like up until 45 grand, you're like, am I on the wrong fucking?
It's a
gear?
momentum
Like, am
car. It's a fucking Miata, dude. It's
Okay,
just like
okay.
a high-powered Miata.
The whole point is imagine
not
A
getting
high-powered
that way.
Miata? You said a high-powered Miata.
It's 200 horsepower.
nerd.
It's 200 horsepower. I
Ah,
mean,
wait,
for a Miata, that's a lot of power.
We've seen what Honda did to their Civic Type R. Like, what's saying that they wouldn't do that to that?
Yes. Thank you. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Looks like a fucking
Because they
Decepticon.
didn't.
They're gonna turn that shit into a Decepticon.
True story. True
like,
story.
they would do something great, and it was, in my opinion, their fucking best chassis. I
Oh,
mean,
I
that thing
think-
is like
It was a great chassis.
The only
Yeah.
problem is
It's like an
I-
RX-8. Like RX-8s are fucking garbage, but if you put any other
Exactly.
engine in them, they're amazing.
Yeah.
Like I don't
Right.
care what you put in there. Put a K24 in that motherfucker. That car would be great.
You would K24 anything.
absolutely.
It's
Right.
Yeah,
I've
K-
had
yeah,
the whole
K24
conversation.
It's indestructible.
Yeah, like,
I like cheap, efficient,
And-
really strong
and it gets
power.
30
That's
miles
it.
to the gallon. And it would
Thank
get
you.
30 miles to the fucking gallon. That's
On
that's
pump
the best
gas.
part. On pump
6
gas.
Right.
pounds of boost.
Yeah, yeah, like
Yeah, that's it, dude. I want it. Jamal and I had a whole conversation about it on the last like follow up companion because I've been mulling this idea of like because I want a cheap chassis that has a bunch of parts support, and I want a cheapish engine that has a bunch of parts support, and all of it is stateside. I don't want to have to order shit from overseas. And it's like if I got a New Edge Mustang and K24 swapped it, I can get a New Edge Mustang for like $1,500 running. Right, and then you get a Honda engine for $800, and yeah, I have to spend time to make that work. But all of the parts are in the scheme of building a car inexpensive. That's not like in a vacuum inexpensive. It's still fucking car parts. It's expensive, but comparative to other shit, it's a lot less expensive. And I can walk into any part store.
But you
in
just
America.
made it more expensive by turning a Ford into a Honda.
Yeah, but I don't want to deal with. I don't want to deal. Listen, I don't want to deal with.
The man's got a point.
I don't want to deal with Ford
You
fucking
took a
VA
car that's
problems.
stateside, has everything you're asking for already, and then was like, "But I'm gonna
I don't
throw
wanna
a Honda
deal
in
with-
there." I'm gonna take.
No, I don't want to do
I'm gonna
another
take 4
V8 swap.
cylinders
Like, I
off.
don't want to do another V8 swap. Like V8, they're just fucking like.
Then don't do a V8 swap. Fucking Turbo 6 that bitch. There's a couple of guys I follow on Instagram that are doing
I'm not
that,
just
doing
listen. I'm
very
not gonna
well,
do
like-
something like. I mean, I guess you could Turbo 6 it. I seen that.
And
there
the
was like
parts are there. Everywhere I buy my parts from, they have
but V6s
parts
sound
for.
bad. They sound bad. Like
No,
V6s sound
what?
bad.
Fuck you.
Excuse me.
What?
Hold on.
I
hold
said
on.
sorry, what's
V6s, not straight
Did my car
sixes.
sound bad?
That's a
V6.
straight 6,
Did
Michael.
my car sound bad?
I know, but still, like, come
Your
on.
Hey,
car didn't
I
sound
have a
bad.
V6,
Your car,
okay?
Valoria, did my car sound bad?
your car didn't sound bad.
Exactly. Straight pipe, X pipe, all that shit.
It's just not my favorite.
Wait,
you know
wait,
what? No, that's
hold
not
on,
fair.
hold
to say.
on.
Which
That's true.
car?
That's not fair.
What car do you have?
What good car? Yeah.
My old Mustang was a V6. And I had
Oh,
long
okay,
tube
so
Now he
batteries,
has
X pipe,
two
and-
Mustangs.
Yeah, now I'm on my third.
You know that makes sense. 2 Stangs.
That's
Yeah.
why he's
Okay.
two Stangs.
Okay, well, all I gotta say is, Alex, fuck you. Once I get an exhaust on my car, eventually, one of these days,
Maybe
in,
VQs
like,
have
5
just
years-
like maybe VQs have just like put it to where like all V6s sound bad because VQs sound so bad. Maybe
Oh, yeah,
That's where the
VQs
meme
are
came from.
terrible.
That's where the meme came from. It was like, you got a tow my dog? Tow me? You got a
Oh my dog. Fuck.
But I
I
love
walked
what
out of
my
In and
car
Out the
sounds
other day,
like.
and there's these guys surrounding
Yeah,
the
man.
350Z. And when the guy finally, like, it was nice body kit. It was red, had all like big ass wheels and shit. When he popped his hood, it was a first gen VQ, not even the good shit with the dual.
Yeah, it's a single
Oh.
intake.
He had the first gen, bitch, all stock.
Mm.
I'm standing there looking like, oh, okay, this car's cool. He pops his hood, and as soon as he pops his hood, I look and I just turn and walk to my car. Show's over. There's nothing good here.
It's like
Factory, bro. Come on.
it's a fine car, right? That's all you can say. It's a fine car. You know,
Yeah, but
like,
at least put like an intake on there or something. Don't have all this shit done to the outside of your car, and then you pop your carbon fiber hood.
yeah,
And you got a every like dusty plastic.
yeah, that's
What
not
are you
cool.
doing?
That's
At least
not
have
cool.
it clean. Come on now.
Or that.
Or they hit
Those
you with their
armor all
plans. Like,
white.
I plan on going still in supercharger.
Oh, I know, right?
Right?
But I had to buy it.
Wheel.
I had
Yes,
to buy
Bob Wheel.
fake wheels and a fiberglass body kit first.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better than putting $5,000 wheels on a fucking $1,500 Civic.
And then cambering the shit out of them.
If I'm buying a Civic, I'm putting fucking fake wheels on it. Okay, I'm not spending $5,000 on my
What
Piece of
wheels
shit.
do you?
Yeah,
but
what
right,
wheels
but
you
like
buying, bro?
that you have
Well, no,
like
How
I'm
big of a wheel are you putting on your
you
Civic?
on a fucking Honda, dude.
Fuck all you. I'm talking like if I got like some
16,
works for
17
like
tops.
$3,000, like no work.
I would never
T-
run anything other than like a one piece wheel on a Honda,
Yeah.
like a sick Mugen. Like you can get a
Yeah.
nice set of like my boy was saying these Zach selling his R&Rs, which are legit R&Rs with center cap for like $1,100. They're 17x8, and they fit nicely under any Honda of that generation. And it's like fuck it, but no $5,000. I'm not putting $5,000 wheels on shit.
Yeah.
T37s. I mean, those are five grandish,
I
right?
mean, that's what I'm saying. Like I've
What are-
seen Civics on TE37s. Like no, I'm
No,
But how
not
clean
no.
of a
They are
Civic
not.
is that?
I'm gonna
No,
tell you
but-
right
I
now.
have seen TE37s on Civics.
No, but they're not that
I'm not gonna hate
expensive
'cause
in
it looks
that
good.
fitment. They're not that
Oh.
expensive in that fitment. Like they're
Yeah, they're not.
$3,300
You can go
in
on
my
like
fitment.
3-piece USA. and,
Has
like, everything
anybody
that's
ever
small
watched-
is real cheap.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they get
Oh,
down to like
shit.
$1,800 when you're like a 15-inch wheel.
Bro,
Like they
yeah, like
That's what's going to start. That's
Dude.
what's going to restart the Civic movement again in car culture. Everybody's like, "What? I can."
the wheels
I
are
can do
cheap.
Hot boys,
Hey,
bro.
hey, speaking of like restarting culture, did anybody see that article about Nissan and bringing back a program where they will restore your Skyline?
I did
Huh?
for
Hey, did you see how much it was?
$400,000
$433,000.
For a 32
$433,000
for the most common Skyline ever sold. Period.
I feel like I can
R32.
get an
Right now, and
Eleanor
you got to
for
that's
that.
that's if you send them a shell, like a body, like a whole car. It's $433,000. If you don't have a car, they'll source you one for an additional. I don't even
40.
know what the cost was. It was
Some
like
bullshit.
40
Yeah.
or 50 grand. Dude,
So
I'm
you
not
just
kidding.
go to me something like,
Wait,
I'm
so
gonna buy
if
a
you're sourcing
Skyline.
me a car for 50 grand, what am I giving you another 400 grand
To
for?
completely
For them
restore it.
Literally take it down
Just-
to a chassis. They will
No,
will
they strip. Yeah, they do. They strip
strip
the
the whole
chassis.
car, repaint the whole car. Like
The-
they
Then
like
sell me one of the
whole-
stripped ones. I don't
This
need to get
motherfucker-
40
this
grand.
I
Nice
tell you
motherfucker.
what, I'll
Right.
I'll strip it myself. I'll bead blast that bitch. Like I'll put the primer and shit.
I think the
down.
point
Like,
is, I think so. Like, this is not like a. So Nissan, they did the Z Tune for the R34s, right? Which they bought cars back. They bought like 500 used R34s back,
had
and
to-
then put them through the Z Tune thing, right? So they refreshed them from top to bottom. They put completely new engines in them, new drive. Everything was brand new, and then they sold them. Those are still some of the most. They're all. I think they're all gold, but
Yeah.
that's like the most expensive fucking Skyline R34 you can get your hands on. One of them is the
There's
Z2.
one. I was
So they've
watching
done this
a-
shit before, but this
Yeah.
is
I don't know if
just
I could
like if
spend that kind of money on a Skyline, man.
So, but
400
like,
grand.
that's-
That's at least like a large pizza from Round Table for 400
You
what are
grand.
bet-
you talking about?
you
mean-
gotta, okay, but you got to remember, like, we think that's a ton of money, but how many people will go out and spend X amount of dollars on a Ferrari or whatever, right?
Right, no, that's
That's
fine,
what
but
the-
how many of those people are going to spend that money on a 25-year-old Nissan?
A
Dude,
ton.
Right. Okay, so no, it's
A
not because
ton.
I don't
Guaranteed.
know if I agree
know
with that.
somebody. I know
don't-
a guy who has I can't think of the name of his page right now. It's like Car Community or something, but he drives a Lamborghini. He just got another Lamborghini. I don't think I could convince that guy to buy a Skyline. Like
No.
he
R34?
If I
No,
had
I don't know.
400
What would I
grand,
want
dude,
that?
I would buy a GT4, a 911, a fucking Boxster Spider, and like I'd probably buy a 2.5 RS and throw a fucking brand new STI transmission and do Ryan's car basically.
You wouldn't
What
have
are you
going to
buy your boyfriend?
Yeah.
Alcohol?
Dang.
No, okay,
Just
so,
kidding.
and like,
it's a little
doing-
fanboy of a lineup. That's like a pretty fanboy lineup.
no,
It's
and like
a
doing,
Name the
tons-
5 greatest rappers of all time. Dylon.
Man's got a point. Man's got a point.
All
I'm
Porsches,
just
Timmy.
saying.
That's all I'm saying. It's all
Walk
Uh,
to Brooklyn for that
Three
Porsche.
Porsches and a fucking
Yeah,
90
walk to
Subaru.
Brooklyn for that Porsche.
Oh, okay, the 2.5 RS.
no,
Which
but
is
like,
more expensive than any of those Porsches that you just
No,
True.
the
The
2.5
the
is like
real-
$5,000, and then I spend 50 grand.
Oh, I'm thinking of a
rebuilding it.
22B. You're not.
yeah, you're like a
That's
22B.
not-
22B,
not
we're
talking-
not gonna find.
22B is like all those cars combined.
Yeah. We're not
Would be
finding
sick,
one.
though.
But like I started to do like a bunch of research on Skylines, and I stumbled upon like Dustin Williams, which super famous YouTuber
Yeah.
and whatever. Like, and he's got videos from a couple years ago, and he went to the Nismo like Nissan factory. You can take your car there and get it like restored and all this stuff. Dude, they don't play around over there. That's what I
Nah.
sent you. I sent you that in the Discord where that motor was 70 grand.
Yeah.
That's no joke. Like they literally have customers that walk in there and are down to spend $70,000 on a Nismo motor, and that shit happens like on the reg. Like you start
But
watching his.
is that like a race mode? Is that because there's a thing like you can buy a race motor, but that means you have to race that car. Like that engine is not designed to be to idle. You know what I mean?
The problem is I start doing more research on it, and half of it's in Japanese, and I can't read Japanese.
What?
So,
What do you mean?
What?
Come on, bro.
Like some of the
What's going
main.
on?
What the fuck?
Sorry,
Huh?
apologies.
American education, obviously.
Yeah, whatever. I'm
Jesus.
bad.
Clearly.
So, but like,
Anime up.
Uncultured swine.
but like I know,
Right.
and like watching the videos and from like his explanation on like what they do there, like that is a full-on Nissan Nismo sponsored shop. You can drop your Skyline off there. You can do an oil change all the way to they will basically rebuild that bitch for you from every single nut and bolt to whatever you want.
I think that I think that's really indicative of Nissan in general, though. People forget like there's only like 4 dudes that build Skyline engines, right? Or GTR engines, R35 engines, right? It's like it's just a very small group of dudes that hand build engines.
Correct.
They have history with really high end racing, right? Like the old like Silhouette 300s and all that shit. Like they build legitimate like cutting edge shit. They have like the 300 ZX twin turbo had a race variant. I think Hoonigan did like a build bio on it.
Yep.
And that thing was smoking everything in its class. And it's like, even when you look at Skylines, like that drivetrain in, 25 years ago, that was what the fuck? What is this shit? You know what I mean? Like this thing is ridiculous. And like Mike was talking about, like, oh yeah, it feels like it's coming loose and then the front end grabs and pulls you through the corner. Like, so because they make Ultimas and fucking Sentras and all that bullshit, and that's all we get anymore, and they've kind of
Gotta
like
pay the bills.
stopped. Yeah, it's every car manufacturer. Cars in general, they're harder to find. They're not made the way they were. There used to be a lot of cool like one-off. Oh, we built this car for 3 years or whatever. That shit doesn't happen anymore. But like that, they take that shit seriously. Like Nismo as a brand and everything, like they take that shit super super seriously. So, I think it's because we didn't get some of those cars, right? Like we didn't get like Pulsar GTIRs and all that kind of like even the little sport shit.
Like,
So
like I was telling you, you can literally there is Nissan Nismo Heritage, and you can go on there and you can literally almost order every performance part Nissan Nismo offers for any GTR, and they are reproducing all of these parts now because now they're becoming legal in the States. Like, which would make sense financially for Nissan
that's
because
smart.
all the fanboys are gonna go nuts for Nismo shit and order it. Like,
Oh yeah.
like an intercooler, an intercooler for the R33 is literally $21 or $2,200 for a front intercooler for that car. Granted, it's like this freaking stacked, but it's $2,300. I can get an aftermarket one for
not even close to that. Half the
$800,
price.
less than that. Like with all the piping and everything,
Well,
like
we don't want to go too cheap, but yeah.
but even then, like
it was a bunch of cardboard boxes duct taped together.
yeah, made it happen.
It's a cookie sheet in the middle.
Yeah,
Tried
dude,
a couple of
fuck it.
pulls.
Right? And then it caught on fire.
I was looking when you guys were talking about EK hatches. I was looking at this stuff. If you guys have ever have time, and you stem up on this, Gears and Gasoline. I don't know if you guys have ever watched this, but it's 2 dudes, and they've literally took an EK hatch and they tore it completely down, put a K20 cams, all motor, and I think they got almost 270 wheel horsepower out of it.
That car
On a
probably
dyno?
weighs like 1,900 pounds.
If that.
So
Had
that's
no interior, had none of that stuff. Like,
see, that's the sketchiest. When you think about the fact that it's like there's an engine attached to the front of the car and a trans, and then it's just dragging basically a bunch of dead weight with you attached to it after that. And you're like that's what I think about Kyle's car is like just the inherent sketchiness of front wheel drive cars with a fuckload of power. because it's just pulling you around. So like when we got out there, and Kyle's uncle was like leading the pack, right? And he's got a corn-fed WRX, whatever. And Kyle's behind him. I'm behind Kyle, and then Mike was in the back with the GTR, right? And we get to like anytime Kyle sees like 300 yards in straight road, it's like fucking gun it. Like he's just like fucking gunning it, and I hear and the fucking thing downshifts and he's out. And in my head, I'm like, he has no traction. Like he's just straight fucking like just straight dicking it. Like in this fucking death wagon, dude.
Torch steering everywhere.
With 8 inch.
There's that's the thing. There's no torch.
Just waiting for the next gear change.
Yeah.
There is no
torque
torque
steer?
steer.
No,
There's no
I don't
torsion?
have. I literally have, unless I turn traction control completely off, then it's like skiing. But if I keep it on, there's the thing just stays straight. I can let go of the wheel and it'll just pull.
Oh shit!
So is the tune set up to
Dude, we're not American. Sorry, Chris.
Wow. Stupid American? And you're a stupid guy.
My 25-year-old Japanese car has more technology than your piece of shit does.
Wow.
Wow. First of all,
turbo lag.
turbo, damn.
I still get you.
Hey,
I
I
still
take
get you.
offense to that.
I still
Roads
get you.
closed, pizza boy.
I'll
Yeah.
run you
Oh.
with my eyes closed, with one eye kind of squeaking through.
Okay. Any day you want, baby.
No,
It's got a little hot in here. Anybody
I
else
love you,
get hot?
kid. I love you.
Good.
No, what I was trying to say before this conversation for the last 15 minutes was while we were driving in the canyon. We're driving up, and then I would every once in a while I'd just look in my rear. Behind me, you see a silver fucking GTR rolling through one corner, and I had this moment, and I was like, "This is fucking cool, dude!" Like that, just that it's here. Like I have a really like I'm a huge Japanese car, right? Like I just am. There's something cool about him, whatever. What? But
What
like
else
to see this car that like I only used to be able to see in magazines and shit like that, and I'm like, this motherfucker's like following me in a canyon like it's natural goddamn habitat. I was like, this is cool.
it was fun.
It was fun, even though it was. I mean, we hustled a little bit towards the end. We were getting after it a little bit.
Yeah.
It was probably still like 6/10, if that. But
Was there snow on the road?
nah,
No. It was
it was just
It was just really
Where
wet.
did you go?
Yeah, how far?
Stubbs.
Snow
That
on
same
the road?
place we went up the last time. Yeah, we just didn't go all the way.
We literally went to Cool. We made the left, went out
Went to
to kind of
Georgetown.
Georgetown, and instead
Yeah.
of going out to Stumpy Meadows making that left, we just went straight out. Like, if we would have kept going straight, that would have led us all the way to Placerville. We had popped out on 50 and been like right there. And he just
I
kinda
almost hit
Oh.
Salmon Falls on the way back. When we
Yeah.
drove past
Yeah.
Salmon Falls on the way back, I was like, I could just, I could
But,
just go hit this
dude, when
shit.
we were passing that Civic, and I was like getting pissed at this dude, and I freaking downshifted and took off, and I went around him in that kind of that corner, and
Yep.
I kind of hit that bump. I don't know if you guys saw it, but that car dipped and then caught the wheel, and dude, that thing I felt like that thing it was like this sideways, and I was just like, oh, and it it grabbed, and it just dude, it just pulled me right through that corner. It was
Oh.
See, I didn't see
Dude,
any of
he
that
was
because I was
nuts.
too far behind Kyle, not having any traction, and then
Well, and
locking
of
me
course,
out of.
and of course
Which
the
is
dude,
what the original point was, by the way, is that Kyle got me stuck behind that piece
Bringing
of
her
shit
back.
Civic. Because Kyle
Bringing
got
it
me
back.
stuck behind
Full
that
circle.
piece of shit
Whoa,
Civic.
and he was being he's being a fanboy. I when I went by him, he had his camera out trying to take photos of the car and all this shit.
It's
And I'm
like,
like,
just
yo,
Bro, he was breaking his neck when you were at the stop
Yeah.
sign already.
He was.
Yeah.
He was neck brace and all. Like,
Dude, we drove when we were just driving back through Auburn, headed to the freeway. We drove past this work truck, and I was in the back at this point, right? Because of again Kyle not having any traction and me getting stuck behind the Civic. I don't know if I brought up that point yet, that I got stuck behind the Civic for another 3 fucking miles. Anyway, we're driving past, and
You guys
I
know
see
this
him.
dude in the Civic by now? Like, are you
Right? I
about to
feel like
meet
I
him?
should know his life story.
nah.
And this dude's neck breaking so hard, looking in his mirror, looking back at the skyline, and it's just
We should start a
That shit
meme.
irks me.
We should start a thing. It's how everyone's like, "Oh my god, is that a Supra?" We
Yeah.
should do this. We should do the
the
opposite
same
to
thing
Mike
with it's a
GTR.
skyline. It's a
Yeah.
skyline.
it's a Skyrim. Oh,
No,
my
it's actually was
shit.
Jamal can back me up on this. we were driving through Long Beach one time, going to fucking Wyotech, and we pull up on a GTR with brand new R35 GTR, two Mexican dudes in the fucking car, and this the plate says S Skyline.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Oh yes.
I was like, SoCal, baby, this is what I love you. Everybody knows what's up. I know what the fuck I am.
I remember that. We cried, dude. That shit was so
driving
funny.
in my
Nobody
my clapped
believed
out
us either.
too.
They was like, "Dude, you guys are racist." Like, no, seriously.
It's
like,
not
this dude's
racism. The
driving
dude,
down the street.
it was
The
great, and
skyline.
there was the dude. I think one of the dudes had a ponytail. Correctly, I don't know. It was great.
Yeah,
It was
Well,
a
dude,
good
I
time.
told you about the night that I got the Skyline and then I drove it home, and freaking I had that green R35 pull up next to me. Dude,
Oh yeah, he losing their shit.
freaking out, dude, like losing his shit, like photos, like what's your Instagram? Like I need to see this car. I'm like, bro, it literally just rolled off the truck. Like,
Bro, you did not tell me about that.
yo, dude, he was freaking out, and like I kind of like downshifted and kind of like goosed a little bit, and like I mean, this thing was like done up, like lowered body kit, big deep wheels. I think it was green, like dark forest green,
That's
and
tight.
the dude was freaking the fuck out. It was
Well,
great.
it's like we live in an area.
Sorry, my shit's dying.
It's all good. We live in an area where, like, I mean, we used to see that new Ford GT that used to roll all the time. Dude used to pick up Range Rovers and Aventadors. You know, we had a customer that dropped his Range Rover off for service and picked it up in his Aventador. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
this is just what it is, right?
Bro, I've
Yeah.
seen him. Sorry, but I mean, I've seen him like twice.
And it's like, and there's that dude with the gold Huracan that's always out cruising. My neighbor picks up his kid from school in a fucking McLaren 570. You know what I mean?
Bro,
It's just like,
all you gotta do is look at the little NorCal Exotics
Yeah.
little thing.
Yeah.
Dude, the amount of cars that those dudes pull out of this area and the amount of like
crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
rare cars they pull out of this
Yeah.
area, it's like, dude, there's some stupid hidden money around this area.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So,
Man,
but like you get used to seeing that shit. You don't see,
Mhm.
like, there was a dude with the gray Skyline that rolled a Porsche that one time too, and everybody like lost their shit about that.
That's
Because
Rudy's
it's just-
boy.
Yeah, you just don't see that shit
Yeah.
as much. Like, I remember, like, when the Senate,
no, there's lots of rare shit hidden.
yeah, which is tight. I mean, it's cool being around that stuff, but it's also like, I don't know, man. You see a Lambo a million times. It's a really
Yeah,
nice, it's a
whatever.
really nice Volkswagen. It's a
Cool.
really nice Volkswagen. You
Unless it's missing your bumper.
got, you got a
I mean-
real,
As I mean, there was a guy a week or so ago that came in with a 912, which I mean, I don't really know that much about the 912. I mean, Mike knows a lot more. But
isn't it the
it's
4-cylinder 911? Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I mean, it was Targa, and it was like British Racing Green, and it was one of the soft windows. So it was like one of like 70 cars ever made, and
Very
it was
rare car.
perfect. It was absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
And it was like just super clean and just cool to see. And you don't see rare cars like that. Like, I've never seen an R33 here ever.
No. No.
Like,
I'll
it's
tell you like
tight,
this though. Like, if
when
I ever
Mike
see it,
drove by today, sorry, Alex. When
No, go ahead.
Mike drove by today, like I just heard something outside. I was like, "What the fuck is that? That's not a Porsche." And I saw Mike. I was like, "Oh my god!" Hey.
yeah, it is. It's one of those things, and I think like this is a good segue into a conversation that this whole episode was supposed to be about, but in typical us fashion, that's not what the fuck we talk about. That was one of the things that drew me to drift. This is like when I was a kid, like when like Formula D first showed up in the States, right? Like my buddy Joaquin had showed me option videos when we were in high school, which was just like old school Japanese, like not drifting instruction per se all the time, but there'd be like technique tips and all that stuff. And you see these guys fucking sliding the shit out of all these little Japanese shit boxes, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, that's fucking sick. Like, you guys don't get it. Was like skateboarding. First time you see somebody like fucking clear a 20 stair, you're like, holy shit, this dude's Superman. You know what I mean? Like, this motherfucker really shit.
Dude,
So
right?
to see that in like a car was cool. And then getting into drifting and learning about like D1, which is like D1 J. I guess now there's more than one D1, but back in the day it was just Japan. And seeing all these cars I'd never seen and cars I'd never heard of, and like going fucking sideways, not even fast as fuck at that point. This is early 2000s. It was just like a way different motorsport, right? Because you had F1, you have NASCAR, you have all that stuff, but they're all pretty much the same. Even in rally, it's timed, right? It's always about time. It's always about how fast can you get from point A to point B. And this is one of the few things where it's just like, how much car control do you have? Like, how well do you know this vehicle? Like, how well can you like take this fucker to the point where it's like the car is not designed to be driven this way? Like, can you hold on to it? And how good can you look doing it? Right? Like, how fucking sick can you make it look? Which is what it was back in the day. It's not like that anymore. But that was like all the cool shit about it. And so like I think it comes from that same like wanting to see something different, wanting to see something more unique with cars, because you get like, even especially with Instagram, that's kind of like the whole thing around this whole channel, right? Was like, dude, I'm so tired of seeing fucking Audis R8s and shit. Like, I don't give a fuck about that stuff anymore. Yeah, it's the fastest. It's cool, dude. It's fast.
I think that like to the point of that, like for like the average guy like us, yeah, okay. You can tell me I'm not average. Yes, I bought an R33.
You're
Yes,
definitely not average
I'm
anymore.
blessed. I'm very blessed.
You're slumming it hanging out with us, right?
I know.
Yeah,
I made
you
some
are.
really good
We're
investments.
destroying your brand
I literally
right now.
just sorry.
Yep.
Sorry. But no, like I feel like that content, like you look at all the like the big YouTube guys, these guys. I mean, there's a couple that stayed true to like their craft, but like, yeah, I can't go buy an Audi R8. Like I can get rid of both my cars. I can get rid of all three of the cars that I have. I still can't financially afford to go buy an Audi R8.
Damn, you do the Tahoe like that, man?
No, I love the Tahoe, but like I bought it for $2,000. I could sell it for like 12. Like, what do you want me to do? That's capital. Like what do you? I'm sorry. Like, I love the Tahoe.
No love.
But...
Be your own people's, man.
Oh, shut up. Shut up. Like that's just not attainable. Like, in the Porsche world,
I'd rather,
like I'd have to sell both cars, and like, yeah, I could probably go buy maybe a 2009.
You could buy an old V8, not manual.
Yeah, you could. Like what? Because it came out in 06?
Like, yeah, some shit like that. Like you could get a 6-speed auto V8 R8.
Yeah, but that's a 2006, 07, whatever year they came out. Old German car. And
it's fucking jalopy by
we all know
standards.
Dude, I remember driving that car back in the day. Like, that car's performance is no more than a 911S. Hands down.
I mean,
those cars, when they first came out, they were trash. Beyond attention getter, though. Beyond attention getter.
Yeah.
It just was something different. Again, it was like, here's a new fucking player in this kind of scene or whatever. But it's like, that shit's cool, I guess. Like, that's cool. But you know what I think is really cool? Like, old boy's got a drift missile over there, and he's fucking send it. You know what I mean? Like, he's gonna just put this shit in the fucking wall. Like, yeah, you look at it's a Bisu, right? Jay, where like power vehicles is always at, and like he's got like these. Dude, he's got like Lexus sedans where the trunk is literally bent up, almost damn near like perpendicular to the rest of the car because he's hit the fucking wall in it so many times. But it's just his like seat time car, and they just go up to a Bisu and they just fucking tread, and they'll fucking like that dude Alexi has the beer can Skyliner. It's like I think it's a 32. It's a GTST. It's rear drive. It's silver, and he's beat the fuck up out of it so bad that it's like a crumpled up fucking beer can. So they call it beer can Skyliner.
The first car I ever did a ride along in. That's why, like, when people talk about Skylines, I give zero fucks about them because that was the first car I did a ride along in. First drift event I ever went to, a guy in 2007 or 2008 had a R32 or 33, all black. And he gave zero fucks about that car. Like, he told me, he was like, I was like, dude, this is fucking, like, that's when I was like, Fast and Furious and all that.
Yeah,
like,
everybody knew
fucking Skyline. And he was like, yeah, get in. I was like, huh? And he was like, yeah, just don't touch anything while you're in here. Like, don't kick that wiring harness right there. We'll fucking cut off mid slide. And I was like, all right, like, whatever. And he just literally like when it was over, he just like ratcheted that bitch to the trailer super tight. Like he was crunching shit. He didn't give a fuck. He was like, I don't care about this guy.
Oh,
So,
This is
zero
also
fucks.
like that's like right at so like '08. That's like Motor X had been around for 4 years. They were selling a fuckload of cars, and it seemed like getting Skylines at that point was easy, especially in LA because Motor X was in LA. That's before.
Yeah.
That's like before the feds got involved. Shit, all those cars got shit. But so
Oh yeah, well there was Motor X, there was Proto Motoring, there was
and they weren't that expensive either. That was
like
the
even
crazy part.
Super
No.
Auto Toys or Super Auto Box.
Super Auto Box, yeah.
Yeah,
And
they
you
changed
could go,
it to
but
Super
yeah,
Auto
you could
Toys,
go.
but they used to sell cars back in the day. Like
Well,
like,
now
if
it's like,
I don't know
like
what
Up
the fuck they
Garage
are. Now
just
they
came back,
clouds.
right? Yeah, Up Garage just came back to SoCal, right? But before that, it was Super Auto Box, and you could like, dude, it was like a
Wait,
legit
when was Up
Japanese,
Garage in SoCal?
Wait, there's an Up Garage in SoCal?
or they're opening an Up Garage in SoCal.
I was gonna say because that was the whole purpose of Super Auto
Y'all,
Box.
y'all want
Well,
a road
Super
trip?
Auto Box closed years ago.
Yeah,
We
I
can road
Yeah.
trip to Up Garage.
Yeah, we
Like-
need a road trip to Up Garage.
down.
I'd be down. Yeah, because
So
it's
is it
cool.
the same
It's
spot that Super Auto Box is? Because I'm just gonna hop on the bus. It's like right
no,
down the
it's
street
this
from here.
motherfucker. We got two Stangs, bro. You got two Stangs. Why don't you drive one
Two
of them
Stangs.
Stangs? Drive one of them Stangs down to that thing, bro. Come
What the-
on, bro. Take the drop
That's
top. Oh, what? You got two Stangs? Ain't neither.
Hey, it's cool. I got a homie with V6 Mustang. Hey,
Wow.
hey, Mike. Cody,
He has what?
Cody, that is like the rawest player on fucking Call of Duty.
Why are we
drives
talking
V6
about Call of
Mustang.
Duty? Oh, okay.
You got
He,
what?
he drives the V6 Mustang. It's okay, dude. Like,
Yeah, it's
like
not. It's
I
not
started
cool.
working at Subaru. Like, he's been
not
trying to ask me to sell
It's
him
not.
like a V8 anything, like a Challenger, Charger, Mustang, Camaro. Just sell him something V8
This fool
manual.
said, "I'll drive a couch as long as it's got 8 cylinders."
Yes, and like I've offered him so many cars, and no, I'm cool.
That's
I'm
so
just-
I mean,
fucking.
the only reason I bought my first Mustang as a V6 because I was young. I think I was maybe 20 when I got that car, and I already had a shit ton of tickets for my Honda. So when I
Oh.
called my insurance company, I was like, "Hey, I'm looking at this GT Mustang," and he like typed it in. He was like, "Yeah, your insurance would be like $450, $500 a month." He goes, "You want to get something with less cylinders?" And I was like, "They got a V6 over here," and he's like, "Oh, that'll be $230." I was like, "Yeah, okay, I'll get this thing." That was not what I wanted.
How
at
does it
all.
feel to know? How does it feel to know that you're financially proven at 20 years old than you are right now?
Huh?
You should have gotten a Subaru.
Because if that was me, I would have been like, "Fucking getting the V8 anyway."
I don't care. I get a second
Couldn't
job. I
do
don't
it.
care.
Yeah, I don't
Couldn't
care.
do it.
Bro,
I'll
when
fucking
I
had a
sell
was
great job.
drugs,
I was working for
whatever.
the
I
was
got
a
my
Fed.
first
I had a
STI
great
when I was
job.
like 21, and that insurance was like $450. That's a goddamn 4-cylinder.
Yeah,
But I was
it's
like,
rough.
21. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
fuck that.
I was graced with.
$450 for insurance?
Yeah.
I had a lot
Sounds
of like moving
retarded.
violations in my Honda. I literally like the day I got the Honda. I
For those.
like it's not from the fucking movie, but the day I got that Honda, I got a ticket like that night.
Oh, hey, dude. I got a
bought
Honda.
it.
Okay,
I
the
lowered
first time I
it.
bought a
I
car,
did
yes.
something else to it. I went racing that night and got busted at the street races.
Oh.
Damn. The
Fuck.
first day
Just-
I bought my first ever car was a Honda, and it had no front plate, and I got pulled over for no front plate. The first day
Oh,
I
no.
bought my car. My first
So this
car
is
ever.
my first car. Yeah, this was my first car ever,
Yeah.
and I didn't know how to drive stick. So my mom drove it from Ontario to LA, and then when we got to LA, she pulled over at a gas station, and we switched cars. And she was like, "All right, I'll see you later. I got shit to do."
Deuces.
Hey,
Damn.
That's some real
So like
shit.
my buddy had the same car, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll come." Like he's like, "I'll just show you. Like I'll do to you what like my uncle did to me." He's like, "Dude, you got to run some errands. Like you got to drive me around. Like this is how you gonna learn." So I think that whole Saturday I just drove this fool everywhere he had to go, and like then I went racing that night and got a ticket.
No.
And then the
Definitely
day
lost
after
that
that,
race,
I had
too.
to change my clutch because I didn't know how to drive stick. And my uncle around and went
That's
racing.
freaking hilarious.
Never fucked up a clutch
Because-
in my life.
hey, at least that
Cannot
transmission only
believe
weighs
it.
like 150 pounds.
What's
My
everybody's
first car
first
was-
car? There
My
you go,
first
there you
car
go.
was a
Easy
van.
go.
My first car was a van.
That's right. You did have a fucking
I had
drug
you
racer
never
van.
drove in the van. You met me
No,
when I
but
had my
you
RS.
told me about it. Like it's
because I love that
you
van.
tell
That
somebody
van
what kind
was
of van you have, you can Google that shit and be like, "Oh, dude, that's a creepy ass van."
it was a maroon Plymouth
See?
Voyager. It was a
Oh my
maroon 1993
God.
Plymouth Voyager. It had
Was
like
anybody here ever friends with that guy that lived on their street that had the fucking Plymouth Voyager? Like that dude was creepy as hell, right? He either had a
yeah, this
maroon
dude was
one or
awesome
that
though.
light blue with the fucking wood grain on the side. Like, stay the fuck
I
away
didn't-
from that guy.
No,
No, dude, I used to do.
I didn't
I
grow up
used
in a
to,
white neighborhood.
wow.
Neither did I. If we saw a fucking Voyager, we definitely knew to stay the fuck away from him.
Yep. Say get out.
Dude, I used to do neutral drop burnouts in that thing all the time. Speaking of Hondas, some dude at a party, we were leaving a house party, and this dude was like talking shit, revving up to me next to me in his Honda Civic. So I did a fucking burnout in my van. You know,
Oh
'cause
my
that's what
god.
you do. That thing was
But
rad,
did you win
dude.
though?
Right.
I won the burnout comp, dude. It had no air conditioning.
Who really won?
It burned so much oil that I had to keep a case in the back the entire time I drove it around.
No
and
oil
the
change
only
needed.
you don't.
Keep
It's
topping
not
up.
in the. It's never in the engine long
Top her
enough,
off.
baby. Big brain,
That's right.
wrinkle brain time. Okay, and the only money I ever put into it was $400 in the stereo.
Oh my god.
So I put in stereo 17.
$350 for the car, $400 for the stereo.
No, the car was
Yeah.
free. My stepdad gave it. This is a real all American coming of age story. So my stepdad gives me this van at 17, and I used it to basically just be debaucherous around Los Angeles and never get pulled over because nobody pulls over the guy in this mom van. Dude, you're just cruising in your mom van.
Yeah.
It was the best. And I would drive it again. Kyle, we already know what Kyle's first car was.
What was it?
It was a Hummer,
Yeah.
wasn't it? In the military.
It was not a Honda. Definitely not a Honda. I think I'm the only one here without a Honda. I've driven German cars my whole life. My first car was I don't
Did
remember
you just
the
call
year.
me poor? Did anybody else just feel poor
Yeah,
immediately?
yeah.
Just call this
was
I
in-
definitely got like car son. Like,
Yeah, it was
German my whole life.
a
Fucking
Audi
JDM
5000 was my first car.
Audi 5. Wait, what?
An Audi 5000 was my first car.
So I didn't realize how badass all Audis could be until just watching Brian Scotto's like absolute fucking wormhole of conversations on Audis and then Googling a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Some of those motherfuckers are real fast. Like
Yeah.
You can make them quick. Oh,
you can
yeah,
make them real
definitely.
fast. Yeah. So they're, I mean, 5-cylinder sound tight. Did you so what? Did you wreck it?
No, I think I blew the head gasket in that car. Like I
German.
did probably zero maintenance to it. I was super
5
young.
cylinders.
Drove it around, and I think I was driving my girlfriend around at this time, and then the head gasket blew, and then I was
That'll
like,
do it.
well, shit. I parked that bitch and left it there, and I just walked. I walked away from it.
The car. Or
I
the
walked
girl?
away from it.
He's like, nope,
Yeah.
done with this.
Yeah, the car or the girl. Which one?
Both.
The man's
I
asking
couldn't-
the hard-hitting question.
No, I
Left her
couldn't-
in the car.
Yeah, I couldn't live with the embarrassment, so I left.
She's like, is this your car? Nah, not mine.
No, definitely not. I think shortly after that, I bought a
stole it.
BMW.
I'm gonna get out.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah,
I love
don't know.
I love how the recurring theme is we're all fucking scumbags.
Yeah, pretty much. Actually, I take that. Never mind. I won't go into that.
No, what? Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
You,
Mm-mm.
I
It's
know
not like
a
it's going
guy-
on the internet. It's not like this is going on the internet. So I don't know where
I know a guy
I know a guy.
who got no. I'm not gonna go on that. Never
Got
mind.
COVID in a car.
No.
I mean, I feel
I
like you
stole.
owe us
Okay. Somebody stole a car, and it was a Honda once. So there.
So you stole a Honda one time?
No, somebody.
Can neither
How
How many
confirm
years
nor
ago
deny.
did somebody steal
Yeah,
this
not
car?
nobody. Somebody,
Yeah,
not
somebody.
Kyle. Maybe Kyle, but probably not. But possibly,
Yeah,
but
probably
super not Kyle.
Yeah,
How many
probably
years
not.
ago did
No.
somebody steal this
Somebody
car?
stole.
If the gloves don't fit, you must quit.
Dude,
Yeah.
A crit.
Glove don't fit.
A crit.
Quit.
Mike, you're doing that
Crit.
thing where your mic's super face again.
Who,
I'm
me
trying
or
to prep
Chris?
the mic.
Oh, okay. No,
Sorry.
Mike.
I mean, haven't we all just
Mike.
stolen a Honda for practice once before?
Okay, we're the only ones that grew up in Los Angeles. So,
Oh.
So you're admitting guilt. You both admitting guilt.
no, I'm just letting him
I-
know that before he asks questions like that,
Good luck
that
finding
the
that
only
Honda.
people that
That was part of
Finding that
that
Honda.
was elementary schooling, bro.
you learned in 5th grade class today, Jimmy. I learned how to
Yeah,
steal a
okay.
Honda. We live in LA. It's essential.
it's just, this is
Right.
normal.
It's
This is
essential
it.
of
You share
survival.
books and
It's
you
essential.
carpool with somebody else's car. It's not stealing if you put it back, right?
It's an
Like,
essential business.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
it's just
you-
borrowing
Like,
without
LA
asking.
had
You
like
know,
the
it'd be
first
like-
version.
No,
we had
it'd
like
be like
the
one of those
first version of
programs.
like car share because like you steal a
Yeah,
car
exactly.
and then once you
It was
ran out
just
of gas
Uber.
or like
It
you
was
were
just
close to running
Uber.
out of gas, you would just leave it. You
Yeah,
leave the
everybody's got a
keys,
big
and
ass
you would just leave
screwdriver,
it.
and you just walk in and you shove
It's
it
like
in,
a
you turn it
fucking-
on.
It's like
Yeah.
one of
And
those bird scooters, you know. You just you ride it till you get where you
Big ass screwdriver.
Yeah, exactly. It's like one of the scooters. If you want to be a nice guy, you can bring it back to the neighborhood you took it from. Maybe they
No, hey, that's an idea though. I'm just saying.
What, stealing other people's cars?
Yeah.
No, borrowing them.
No.
Borrowing them.
That's the thing, though.
Oh my god.
You can rent other people's cars. There's an actual app for that shit.
Yeah, there is
It's
actually.
yeah, but they're
like-
but then they're
it's like
aware of
Airbnb?
what's happening.
Yeah. You can't just leave it wherever the fuck you want to either.
I don't know if Jamal knows that we can't hear him.
Well, he'll probably be back in a second.
He may not.
He's like, fuck this podcast. This is
Yeah,
shit.
he might
sucks.
just not. Oh my god. What do you mean? What do you mean it sucks? There he is. No, he's gone. He'll
Hey,
be back.
almost.
Guess what's about to happen? Craig's about to have an aneurysm. Did that, and I'm gonna spend an hour and a half making this listenable. Whatever.
If there's any like squeaky dog noises in the back, it's
Oh,
not
you mean
my
like
fault.
Somebody's
all of the
hammered.
squeaky dog noises? That
No,
those,
That's been happening all podcast.
it's not my fault.
Just in case you were wondering, that's my dog, by the way.
Naming no names. Somebody
somebody.
is out here squeaking
Can
dog
neither
toys.
confirm nor deny that he's in this podcast.
Yeah.
You got to do it right here.
Oh,
Right.
I
God.
mean, that's where dad is, right?
Yeah.
So at least
Where's
somebody
Mom?
knows where their dad is.
Yeah. Oh, very true.
Always
Bravo.
back to fatherhood jokes. Always back to got to make everybody
Yeah.
uncomfortable. Yep.
Do you know where
All
your dad
you
is?
fuck- Yeah. Right.
Congrats,
It's
bro.
7:44
Mine's
p.m.
right
Do you know
there.
where your father is?
His name is Mike. Mine's
Oh,
right there.
I am technically below you.
Well, you are technically below me, but like that
No,
one's that
Daddy's
one,
right here. Kyle.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Wow.
my child.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
that one.
That's-
That one.
Well,
This is just-
I used to take responsibility for you a lot. Now I really can't anymore. But
It's
yeah,
like
I'm still daddy. Don't even try.
Wow.
I still admit it.
At least
Hey,
he's
he's back.
willing. At least he's willing to,
Accept it.
accept that he's
Jamal,
not your
you
dad
don't even
anymore.
want to know what you're missing. Yo,
No, I do. What
guys, you know what I just wait? Am I tripping? I might be tripping.
You're
Never mind.
totally tripping.
Disregard this. This podcast is dropping on New Year's Eve, and I hope people listen to this. Like, I hope that they just.
just get drunk and just listen.
I just
to
want
this
everybody
shit.
to get
fucked
drunk
up.
and just listen to
Yeah.
us be fucking dumbasses. Happy New
Might as
Year,
well. It's not like you can do
motherfuckers!
shit. Nobody's
New
throwing
Year's,
New Year's
bitches.
parties.
Yeah, yippee ki motherfucker! Like
That's
Sit
it's
in your backyard and get wasted and watch this shit.
I know you
Wasted.
can't do
Listen to it.
shit. You
Yo,
can't
and
speak.
then hit me up for any
It's
mustache
been
rides.
so great. It's been
Oh
so
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, it's looking good.
Jamal,
Kyle,
stay out of
Lord of
this.
Drywall, Superior Twin, and aficionado of mustache ride.
I may or may not
Like
be
I-
having a barbecue on New Year's Eve.
You can't do that. It's
Podcast time.
illegal. It's
I
Okay,
may
illegal.
or may
hold
not.
on. Are
You
we
live in
working
California,
or
bro.
are we not working?
Huh? We're not
Are
working
we
New Year's Eve.
What the fuck did you just say to
Oh.
me?
You're working.
Ginger
Yeah,
ride.
All
You're
I've got
working
to
New Year's
say,
Eve.
all I've got to
Print
say
screen.
is my
Print
manager
screen.
obviously
I'm-
does not know how to like turn off the appointment calendar because there's like 5 appointments.
No,
fucking
you're
scheduled on New
working.
Year's
You're
Eve.
working New Year's Eve. You're off New Year's Day.
Yeah, Chris,
Oh.
you're an idiot.
I have the whole week off. Stupid.
Oh,
Look at him out here with his fancy camera PTO.
My lighting.
Right.
Yeah,
Halo
Why do you
lights and
have?
shit.
Why do you? Wait, I just realized you still have that light behind you this whole time. You've had that.
We started. I was like, fuck it. I'm just roll with it. Like, fucking lightsaber right here.
Oh my god! For the
Looks good.
For
For
anybody,
this-
yeah, who actually
That's
listens to this shit, the photographer
I don't-
is
we
now
don't-
come out of fucking Chris.
we
Like
don't,
now
we
he's
don't
being
talk
all
about
kinds
those
of
people.
bougie. He showed
This
up with his fancy ass little sandwich.
I've
Before we
had this
went
webcam.
live, he had to go put a fucking
Fucking
flannel
iron
on.
flannel.
Like,
I had to match Kyle. Kyle was.
he had to match
oh,
Kyle.
you had to match daddy. Is what you're saying.
So there's
Kyle
so
had-
much
you had-
desperation
I
in his
liked.
voice.
I'm like,
trying
I
to,
You
like
had
that.
to match your
explain
daddy. Is
himself.
what you're saying.
Kyle's
match
doing
daddy.
something I like. I like what Kyle's doing. Kyle's doing Kyle.
Okay. Okay.
So,
So you're
that's
saying
what
you want to
Kyle?
watch Kyle do,
Huh?
You wanna watch
or
Kyle
is
do
Chris
Kyle?
doing Kyle?
or is Kyle doing Chris? Because it sounds a
I'm-
little bit
I'm the
like
man.
It sounds like Kyle's doing Chris.
I'm the man.
I'm the big
I'm
spoon.
open to it.
Let's get
I'm
this
open
straight.
to it.
Get this straight. Let's get this straight. Chris is a little spoon. Let's get this just fucking straight right now.
Yep. Well, we're Yumbo Yaks. Yumber Yaks.
Yummy
what the
yaks.
fuck is happening
the
right now?
I can't even talk to you guys right now.
Yumbo, yeah.
What is happening right now?
Why do people listen
What do
to
you
us? I swear.
What do you
I
mean?
don't know.
To us?
Quite a few apparently. Kyle's got a homie that. Shout out, Drew. What's up, dude?
What's
up,
up, dude? What's
Ah,
up, dude?
dude.
Hey Drew, make sure you
Oh,
share
man.
that shit. Share it on the other platforms, man. Share it
Yeah,
on your
share it.
Instagram.
You
Share it
got
on
nothing
on
better to do in
Facebook. Come on, bro.
2020. Listen,
Yeah.
six
Tell-
fucking dumbasses.
Tell
Wait, how many
Steph he's slow
dumbasses
as
are here?
fuck.
Can't count. I feel like we're approaching the end of the show, guys. I feel
Yeah,
like
pretty
that's-
much.
I think we're getting there. I think we had an idea for a show. Didn't happen. I think everybody's.
Turn
I
into
mean,
a
but
drunken.
I like the
You
don't
title
say.
though.
the title's gonna be great, and people are
It
gonna be
is.
super interested in the first 20 minutes, and then very quickly it's gonna descend to.
They'll laugh. They'll laugh.
They're like, oh, we're
Hey.
gonna have a projected podcast. We're gonna talk about drifting and cool stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, we're gonna stay on
Hey,
topic.
it's
We're gonna get
fun.
Jamal in here. 'Cause
What's drifting?
Minus Drew, I will send a $25 gift card that Land Rover gave to me to the listener who lasted this long.
Oh,
Yep.
Oh, you gotta comment that shit.
Incentives.
Yeah.
Comment
Yes.
that shit.
and you have to be
Comment.
able to tell me who the inferior twin is by name.
Oh,
Those two pieces of information. What's your name? And
Damn.
what is the inferior twin's
Wait, did
first
you-
name?
A gift card to where?
Target.
Oh.
I thought you
okay.
said
You
Land Rover.
can't
That-
use
He's
it.
like,
I
oh,
said Land
oh.
Rover, so I was like, what the
Yeah.
fuck are you gonna do with that? $25.
I don't know. Hey, that's why.
Hey, you're gonna buy a keychain.
That's why I'm
You're gonna
giving it away.
pay for the
Like,
tax on
because
a keychain.
Oh, Kyle,
my
that's your
shit-
Kyle, that's your Secret Santa shit, ain't it?
That's like
Kyle's,
a Rick
you
and
just
Morty
killed
shit.
Kyle, bro. You just killed Kyle.
pompous,
Oh,
arrogant. iCard gift care given for a Christmas bonus.
Hey, yeah, it was literally it was a fucking Christmas bonus from my company, and whoever fucking comments will get that shit. I'll send it to you.
Your company gives out Christmas bonuses?
You don't like Target?
Wait, you guys have
I don't give a
jobs?
shit about Target.
I didn't realize your company gave out Christmas bonuses.
Yeah, bro.
We're better than you, so
I figured.
Wow.
Fuck.
What are you talking about, dude? Timmy's about to be the highest paid service advisor in the simply
No,
by
They won't-
virtue
they
of-
won't
that's
pay
a
him that
lie.
much.
No, that's a lie. I'm
won't pay him that
staying.
much.
I'm staying the used car guy. I'm in my position. I'm not moving. I am not anything.
I hear that a lot, actually.
Yeah, I'm staying where I am, and that's where I want to stay.
Is it where you want? You know what? That's an off-camera conversation.
No,
Right.
yeah,
We
yeah.
don't need to talk
Hey,
about
hey,
that.
hey! Stop licking my leg.
Wow.
Again, I'm pretty sure he's talking. Pretty sure, not 100% sure.
Wait a minute.
Kyle
Wait a
just ran away.
Wait a minute.
Oh my god!
Stop licking my leg. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Who's licking this leg here? Whoa.
I think
I
it's
wish-
time you hit stop recording.
Oh my
Oh,
god,
man.
that's so good. Oh,
My
all
bad,
right.
No,
homie.
definitely the dog.
We're not gonna do
Oh.
socials. We're not gonna do any of that shit. This
We
is the
just had a
last
good
show.
time.
Yeah, this is the last show of the year. It's a fucking mess. We're probably just gonna call it the squad show.
Oh,
Because that's
okay.
what it turns
Oh,
out to be.
Oh,
it's a
puppy
pupperino.
dog.
look at the puppy.
She ain't gonna look
Whoopee,
at
whoopee,
that.
whoopee.
Look at these
Oh.
people.
No, see, listen. I look at pet ownership as smart planning because
Practice
when
kit.
when the shit hits the fan and the world comes to an end, you want to keep your meat close. So
I will come kill you before I eat my dog.
Yes, I definitely, Kyle. Jesus.
Me and the
Wow.
dog are coming to get you.
Go
Just
ahead,
call
come to my
Jamal,
house,
Kyle.
bro. I fucking dare you.
Oh my.
No, you don't.
All right. Anyway,
My
thank you
skill
guys
set
for
goes
Just
way
because I
beyond
kept that
drifting.
thing on me.
Okay, well, we're not going to show guns. We're not going to show. Thank you guys for
Right, we're not-
listening. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we
We're all
appreciate
sorry.
y'all.
We'll
Love
see you
you.
in 2021. You guys are the best, or not. Whatever. Don't go fast, don't die. Peace out.